Hi, welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, this is an update on our day at the hospital in Tagbilaran where we took Desiree. For most of you who will know about Desiree, but there will be some who don't. So Desiree is the girl that some years ago was struck down with an illness which actually, according to the doctor today, is multiple sclerosis. And we have not so far heard anybody say that. They've said, we don't know what's wrong. That's what Desiree has told us. We came in very, very late last year and tried to help Desiree. She was living in poor conditions, very, very crowded, and we helped with the generosity of our subscribers who sent money to be able to do this, and we built her a house. So we made her a lot more comfortable. But then with the money that we were able to give that was left over, in this particular case, we don't do this anymore, but in this particular case, it was requested by the donors, the people who gave, that she should be given the money so that she could perhaps pursue her treatment. Well, we did that, and then recently we went to see her again and we had a chat, and we kind of took up the fight again because nothing's happened and she doesn't seem to have gotten any better. Well, on to the day today, and we spoke to a doctor, a neurologist, who was really good. She had a very perceptive way of talking to Desiree. She asked a lot of pertinent questions. She did some tests, some on-the-spot tests, reflexes, touching various parts of the skin to see what the sensitivity was, talking about numbness, talking about a lot of things. And then she looked at the paperwork on the tests that Desiree had done. But unfortunately, those tests are, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old. So that's not any good. Now, what has been the result of that talk? The result of that talk is that the neurologist said, well, you should have been on medication even if you couldn't afford to have any therapy. You should have been on medication. And anyway, she was actually full of hope. Well, wait a minute, you should be able to walk again. Wow. Now here we are, we're in the middle of thinking that this is a mysterious illness that's come out of the blue, like on an alien spaceship, and this woman is saying, let's look at you walking again. Now she is given a prescription which we've had filled, with some instructions, suggestions for doing exercises, saying exercise, get out and do some therapy. Now, all I know is that if my wife fell to something like this, she would not be sitting around. I would have her exercising. And I think that is part of the key to Desiree walking again, is that as you give in to something and your faith starts to be shattered, then everything else follows. And in this case, it's been the atrophy of the muscles so that she can barely stand on her own. She can't lift her feet to move them to another place. So that's one of the elements of walking, you may have noticed, is you lift your foot and you put it out the front, then you put your weight on it, and then you get the other foot and put that one out. That's walking. Well, she's not able to do that. She's had a walking frame, and she's done pretty good, if incredibly slowly, using that walking frame. So she hasn't given up completely. We got her a wheelchair so that she can actually have some mobility, and so that we can have the convenience of being able to put her in a chair and then wheel her into the hospital, which is what we did today. We took the wheelchair with us, put the wheelchair out. She felt more comfortable traveling in the back. We have seats in the back of our truck, and she made the trip, 3-hour trip, plus she had to be carried or motorcycled to the road where she met us and was waiting in her wheelchair. Another advantage of that is that she can't stand for long, so if she has to wait anywhere, then she can use the chair. We should thank Larry of Medical Mission Matters. So anyway, so now the prognosis is that yes, let's get some more information. So we need something, we need some tests, we've got some money, we had a donation, a gift, sorry I shouldn't use that word, should I? We had a gift from Little Bit Rich, who kicked off the gifts again for Desiree by sending a fraction over 19,000 pesos, and he sent that for our expenses and for getting her up to Tagbilaran, to the hospital. It all has to be paid for. It's actually, it turned out to not be 5 people as we thought, but 4 people. Beth and myself and Desiree and her mum, who came with her. Desiree's she is very reserved, and so the idea of being manhandled in and out of the truck by yours truly is not something that she gave in to easily, but ended up what was sensible, sort of won the day. So we did all of that, 3 hours there and 3 hours back, plus meals, tests, and hospital fees, and then filling out the prescription that we got. So now the suggested, until we can get back from our vacation, which is going to be next month, we should be back on the 1st of next month. Until we get back, the bad news is we have to take her to Cebu. Now that's a bit of a drag, because Cebu means getting on a ferry. It's a small ferry with a narrow gangplank, so I'm not even thinking about how we're going to do that, but we will do it, and we'll take the chair with us, and we'll get taxis. It's a folding chair, and we will do it, right? We really need 2 tests. One test, I believe, is 8,000, and the other test is something like I think it's around 20-something thousand. So just to get the tests is going to be the most expensive trip. Plus we have to get there, and to get there is something like 300 per person one way, then plus taxis and food and all of that all over again. So we're looking at doing that. This time, of course, we're not looking as we did with the Nisa debacle, where there was supposed to be an operation at the end of it, which never happened. No, this is a case of Desiree has actually saved some of the money that we gave her. I think that she's got something like 8,000 pesos left, so she'll be able to pay possibly for one of the tests, which is a cranial scan, cranial and the back of the neck or something like that. Anyway, I'm no medical expert. So that, and I believe an MRI, but we'll be looking at that when we get back, and hopefully we should have the financing in place while we're away, and we'll hope that that is the case, and then we'll take her hopefully one trip and we'll get the tests that need to be done. But the key thing is that the doctor was optimistic and said, well, you know, we should be able to get her walking again. She's on some a ton of vitamins that have been prescribed, and plus a course of something like a month's steroids, starting off with 3 a day for a week, 2 a day for another week, 1 a day for a further week, and then we'll see how things are going. So the dogs have started, so this is a good time for me to quit. So that's an update on our friend Desiree. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Bye for now.